Okay, we are live. Hello there, folks. This is Old Tom Jin, and this is me starting a brand new playthrough of a very old game. I am, of course, referring here to Baldur's Gate, the Enhanced Edition from Beamdog, in this case playing it on their wonderful port for the PS4. And when I say old, this game is officially legally old enough to drink in the United States. That's how old this is. And of course, it is one of the great classic computer RPGs of all time and one of the great D&D adaptation games of all time, set in the Forgotten Realms, the Sword Coast, and in and around the great city of, well, Baldur's Gate, as mentioned in the title. And this is going to be a new playthrough for me. I've tried this a couple times before. I did attempt to play through when I very first started streaming, and I didn't know what I was doing, obviously, so there was very low quality graphics and the sound was all off and it was terrible. So hopefully I've learned some lessons since then. It'll be a little bit more enjoyable to watch. I decided to start this new one again, well, A, because I had the itch to play an old school RPG, and also because we recently have gotten a lot of new information about the upcoming Baldur's Gate 3 from Larian Studios. So I've decided to re-kick this off. I actually attempted a playthrough the other night and then lost my save game due to a technical glitch. So we're gonna start over from scratch, and I've taken precautions with the external memory drive now for my PS4, so I will not run into that problem, hopefully. And we're gonna try again and see how we do. There'll be a brief pause in here as we hopefully that won't take too long, and then we'll be off to the races. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? Game in the series, there's a number of DLCs in Baldur's Gate 2: The Shadows of Amn, which, who knows, maybe we'll get to it, or maybe we will not. These are very long games, so it'll take a while. But this begins us, as you can see, as an orphan raised by our foster father Gorion in the sheltered, fortified walls of Candlekeep, as you can see. So we're, of course, going to be doing a new single-player game, and without further ado, let's jump right in. Here again, that wonderful Nietzsche quote to begin the game. An emotion comic provided by Beamdog added to the game, which really adds something.
No, you can't. I will be the last, and you will go first. Please.
I think that's a very nice man. There, of course, is the symbol of Baal, god of murder. Something which will figure in very prominently into this story. All right, now here is the aforementioned character creation. So this is my personal favorite part of the game. It's probably the favorite part of the game for many people who have played it before. Not so much so great to watch someone do. So, it of course being D&D Second Edition, and as I think I've mentioned in other venues, it requires a lot of fiddling with numbers, selecting things, unselecting things, deciding you want to do something else, and that can be a little bit tedious. So we're probably going to go through this process and then jump back in straight into gameplay. So that will only take us but a few moments. I should hope. Not too long. I see some folks are logging in right now. So we'll see. We'll just be taking a brief break, I hope, to kind of go through the character selection process, and then we will jump back in. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just, well, probably, I think, well, we'll see how long it takes, but probably not too long. And then we'll jump back into play. All right, be back in just a minute. Okay, we're back. That actually took very little time at all because I was able to take a couple of quick shortcuts and had some excellent luck. So we are back. I have recreated my protagonist for this particular run-through. Meet Boyle. Boyle is, as you can see, a gnome illusionist thief. My idea for Boyle came from basically that portrait. That is a portrait that is unused by any NPC in the game, and just look at that smirk, just look at that furrowed brow, that nose, those mutton chops, and that cap. For God's sakes, look at that cap. So Andy Boyle, and Andrew Boyle is the full name, and as I said, he is an illusionist thief. Gnomes I particularly love in 2nd edition because they were the only race that could do a multi-class character and combine it with a specialist mage type. And of course, all gnomes are illusionists by default, so that he gets the benefits of extra spells and all of the advantages therein. As you can see, he is chaotic good. This is a guy who makes up he's a little bit of a scoundrel, kind of not a professional thief necessarily, but let us say a casual thief. Has his own definitions of right and wrong that don't include very sophisticated notions of ownership. And he's the smartest guy in the room, but you probably wouldn't know it at first talking to him, because I see Boyle as a very salt-of-the-earth guy. At least he appears to be a salt-of-the-earth guy. He's actually incredibly intelligent. As you can see, he's got the 19 intelligence, smarter than any human out there. And he just doesn't let on how smart he is. He's the kind of guy who would, do his homework in 5 minutes and say, this is all perfect. By the way, I've pointed out 2 errors that you, Professor, made in writing the premise of the problem, and then he'll turn in his work and then run outside to play dice with the kids behind the school. That's his thing. He's a sympathizes with regular people. And so maybe doesn't let on how exactly how smart he is. In a way, almost like he's like one of those detectives, those unlikely genius detectives that you never used to, like a kind of like a Columbo type, I guess, where you don't realize exactly that people underestimate him, don't realize how smart he is. Also, as you can see, quite hardy, quite dexterous. Not a strong guy. He is not a frontline fighter, nor do I intend him to be. But I do want him to have those thieving skills, because I want Boyle to have the focus, in the important parts of the game. And there's a lot of areas where thieves and the rogues of the party take front and center in this. When you're scouting ahead, when you're looking for traps, when you're opening locks, all of that sort of thing. And it's fine to do that with an NPC thief, but I really wanted the focus to be on Boyle for that. And again, that he's as quick with his hands as he is with his mind. He's not a strong guy, but he is just super clever, super almost a bit of a gadgeteer, although it's not really much of an opportunity to do that in this game. But as you can see, his top skill is find traps. My notion is that he grew up in the sheltered walls of Candlekeep, and his main use of thieving skills was avoiding the alarms in the library so he could go break in and read the rare book section. So that was his main thing. Pretty decent at opening locks. Hasn't really had much of a need to, hide in shadows. Naturally okay at detecting illusion to begin with. I'm not really going to do set traps, set snares to begin with. That's an okay skill, but it can be handy, but I think it's only going to be really useful for him when he goes up in levels, because the damage for set snares is not really that great at low level anyway. So we'll hold that up for another day when he's got some more points to spend. And as far as his spells, very basic stuff. And as I said, for combat, this is not a frontline guy. He has proficiency in club, carries a little shillelagh, but if Boyle has to get into the front line, something has gone seriously wrong. So I expect most of the time he is going to sit in the back with his crossbow, giving orders, directing the course of battle. He's the tactical guy. He's the thinker, and charismatic enough, as you can see, to be the leader of the group. But Not the frontline fighter, but that's fine. There's plenty of frontline fighters in Baldur's Gate. So, with that being said, we have Boyle. He's looking pretty solid. Let's get him out into the world and start this playthrough going, shall we? And of course, the most important thing here is we are going to be using core rules, 2nd edition AD&D core rules. And that means, as it summarizes here, enemies will deal their full damage, they aren't nerfed, and if they have advanced abilities and combat tactics, advanced spell-like abilities, they will use them. I'm not going to be playing this on permadeath, mainly because those of you who are familiar with other playthroughs of this game, there's a random encounter function in this game that is kind of brutal. It uses very much core D&D assumptions. Roll the dice and a dragon shows up and you're run. What I am going to be doing is kind of playing the cards where they lay. And by that I mean I'm not going to do reloads to get myself a more advantageous outcome or to save myself out of a difficult decision or something like that. If a member of the party dies and I can resurrect them, then I'll resurrect them. If the protagonist dies, then his compatriots would resurrect him. So my party members or friends would drag me back and resurrect him. That's how we say that, well, Boyle didn't actually die there. He was resurrected. We go try it again. However, there is an exception to that. And I am going to stick with this. If your character is disintegrated, if the NPC, or I don't know if it applies to the PC, but if they are blown to bits, which can happen, depending on how much damage you take, you can't actually be resurrected. There's no body to resurrect. If that ends up happening, we're going to let that lie and say, okay, that's it. So, not permadeath, but perma-disintegration, I guess. So, if that occurs, that will be the end of that character's career. So, we shall see. I don't know if the PC can actually be disintegrated, but it doesn't. We won't count it for petrification because that's easily rectified. You get scrolls to reverse that and spells, so we won't worry about that. I have no interest in playing the harder difficulties because all they really do is scale up the enemy's hit points and damage and scale yours down. There's no point. I don't see what that proves other than, I can cut down the largest tree in the forest with a herring. Like that doesn't interest me. So core rules, fair is fair. They use their full abilities. I use my full abilities. My party members use their full abilities. That's how we're going to play it. So that's it. That's what we're going to do. And I think without further ado, let us do that and venture forth.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
So there we are. There's our background. Growing up in the safe walls of Candlekeep, sort of a secular monastery for learning, for wizardry, etc. And not knowing really where we came from, but always having, again, the way I picture it is that Boyle has this sort of deep rebellious streak, and that's where the chaotic portion of his nature comes from. He just doesn't really want to follow the rules, and he kind of chafes at this cloistered environment, and he doesn't know why it bothers him so much. I mean, he has every book he could ever want to read. You know, he's a really smart guy and a really great place to learn things. Why does it bother him so much? But it always has, and he just kind of wants to get out. And of course, that, for those of you who know the game, that naturally my background here ties into part of the story that we discover throughout the game. But I think that that's where that's kind of my cornerstone or my keystone into the character starts. He's just he's good natured, but he's just, something about him is just a rebellious scoundrel, and he wants to get out. So, but for now, he's being asked to get out, or being told he's going to have to leave under maybe circumstances that were a little bit different than he might have dreamed about. So, well, let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are in Candlekeep, outside the Candlekeep Inn, about to enter and purchase supplies for our journey. And those of you who are not familiar with the game, you see what I mean. It is not the newest game in the world. It is not exactly the most advanced graphics, but we don't play this game for graphics. We play it for roleplay, for the dialogue, for nostalgia, for many other reasons. And yes, here is Boyle. Here is Boyle, little stout gnome that he is, carrying a quarterstaff, which I don't even have proficiency in, so I don't know why I'm doing that. But without further ado, let us go inside and see what we can do about preparing for our journey, shall we? And there is Winthrop, proprietor of the inn, but oh look! It's Firebead! Firebead Elvenhair, Garion's old friend, and when I say old, I mean old. Let's talk to Firebead. How are you doing, old fellow?
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
Ah, yes, I'm back within the hallowed halls of Candlekeep. With this iron crisis upon us, the trip from Baragos was more hazardous than I care to relate. You're Garion's ward, aren't you? My, you have come into your own, if you would permit an old man jealous of youth to say so. I left an identify scroll with Tethrill in the undergrounds. He should be done examining it by now. If you could fetch it for me, I'd be grateful. Also, Pepperidge Farm remembers. And yes, I will be doing all the voices of all the NPCs, as close as I can possibly get to what the voice actors attempted to do with those, and it sounds to me like that guy came from New England. So for whatever, Firebead comes from the equivalent of New England in New Hampshire, or Vermont, in the Forgotten Realms, wherever that may be. So, but let's see if there are any other friends of Garion staying here at the hotel, shall we? How about this guy? He's just sleeping man. Well, I guess we don't know him. He's just a sleeping man. Oh, he does have this slightly ajar little cabinet here with bureau with something in it. Well, no Gideon's Bible. No room service menu, but there is 4 gold. Well, I mean, I'm going on a journey, and he's sleeping comfortably in a bed. I'm not going to be sleeping comfortably in a bed pretty soon. I feel bad. I'm gonna leave this guy something. I'm gonna leave him my quarterstaff. That seems to be fair compensation. It's not actually fair compensation. Quarterstaff is almost useless. Worthless, I should say. How about this place? What's in here? There's nobody in here. Oh, but the bureau is locked. Well, that's not right, because that's like a hotel safe, right? Because when you check out, you're supposed to unlock the hotel safe if you put anything in your safe in the room. So I better unlock this. And see, I was right. See, they left a silver necklace in here. Or did they? I mean, it's probably insured, right? So it's just, I'm not worried. not to worry about it. Who's in here? Is anybody I know? No, it's a sleeping dwarf. I don't think Ryan knows any sleeping. I don't think he knows any sleeping dwarves. Oh, I can't. Oh, he's not waking up. Good, but I wonder who he is. What kind of a fellow is he? What is he? Well, he's got a potion of clarity. Prevents feeble mind, confusion, fear, and charm. I mean, he's perfectly safe in Candlekeep. He doesn't need that. And, just come on. You don't need such a thing. I, however, am going out on the road, the wide world. Things are dangerous for me. I need to take precautions. So I need that more than he does. Oh, there's people in these rooms. I won't mess with. There's nobody in this room though. I wonder if there's any Gideon Bible in here. Let's find out. Okay, well I can't open that one. You know what? That's a sign. That's a sign. There's too much. I've done too much thieving. I should stop. I should stop now. At least I've done too much thieving upstairs. Here, however, are a noblewoman and a nobleman. Why are you in the kitchen? Where's the kitchen staff? What have you done with the kitchen staff? Step up to the heat, young one. You'll need a good fire to warm the chill stares of those monks. Most inhospitable, aren't they? Isn't that so, lovey? Oh, yes, darling. They are most standoffish. Oh, not let it concern you, milady. Perhaps they're not used to wealth such as yours. You are quite wealthy, are you not? Bring a lot of expensive jewelry with you. I shouldn't answer that, Levy. Seems as though this scoundrel might be trying to get a bit too familiar. Sizing up the potential loot, I should think. Best that you move along, lest the local constabulary gets involved. Fine, then I will. And I should specify, I will not be using the character's voice when I'm just making snarky comments of my own, only when I'm speaking the character's dialogue. Oh, look. Now, this is Winthrop's room. And Winthrop is apparently very paranoid. I mean, he should be. Because I live in this keep. And, you know, Winthrop makes a lot of off-color jokes to me, and generally is kind of a rough guy. I mean, I like the guy, but I mean, he didn't give me anything he's not giving me anything for my journey, he's just selling me things. So I think it's only fair. He doesn't need that armor spell. He's stuck here in the inn. He doesn't need it. He's in here in the inn. I need it. Boy, do I need it. Okay, well, having done all that, now let's go back and talk to Winthrop. Hi, Winthrop. Just came from your kitchen. Didn't go through a room or anything.
My as clean as an elven arse.
Hello there, young one. Come to visit your old pal Winthrop, have you? Well, don't forget the 10,000 gold piece book entrance fee as per Candlekeep's custom, don't you know? You're always worth a big kidder, Winthrop. That gets funnier every time I hear it. Well, perhaps not quite so often. Ha! Just having a bit of fun with you, my friend. Them monks be walking around with poles in their nethers. But you know you're always welcome here in my sight. Grind did well by ye did. So is there anything I can do for you? Some drinks, room to sleep, anything to buy? Sure. What do you have? Well, what he has is rooms for rent, which I can't actually rent, as it happens. That's a change in the Enhanced Edition. Which I'm not sure why they did that, but I can only assume it was to prevent some sort of exploit. But I can sell him some stuff. I can sell him this silver necklace that was recently pilfered from his upstairs rooms. I'm sure the person who left it here in the inn will be very happy to get it back. And will wonder why he's selling it. Well, see, that's an easy excuse. It was like, well, you didn't recover it, and so it becomes hotel property, ma'am. Or sir. And here's a dagger from his own kitchen, which I will sell back to him. Because why not? Like I said, I have to get every bit of cash I can. I'm going on a journey. Well, that leaves me with 174 gold, which is pretty darn nice. I need to buy a club, which seems a little silly because it's just a stick. But I do need to buy it. So there's my club. And hopefully I will not be using the club that often. But if I have to go into melee, things are bad, as I said. But I will be using this light crossbow. Oh, that's going to be key for me. And that means, of course, I need a whole lot of bolts to use in the light crossbow. Pardon me. So I think that's pretty much all I need. I hopefully don't have to buy armor. If I have, again, I got that armor scroll for a very specific reason. I want to learn that spell. So that is the question. Can I learn the spell? So now that I'm done with Winthrop, let's arrange my stuff a little bit. My primary weapon, of course, the crossbow. And then some bolts for the crossbow, so I can use those. And we'll just push... I mean, I'll put the Potion of Clarity up here right now. I don't really have any reason to think I'm going to need it anytime soon, but what the heck? We'll have it. We'll have it at the ready if something may arise. But here's the key point: armor. I'm going to try to learn this armor spell. You can learn it from a scroll. Now, of course, this is AD&D 2nd Edition, and in AD&D 2nd Edition, learning spells is hard. I have, if you recall, I have a 19 intelligence. Boyle is smarter than any natural-born human on Earth, or on Farron. The maximum for humans being 18, right, by rolls. So I'm smarter than any human who's ever lived, and yet I have a 1 in 10 chance of failing to learn a spell. Someone who has a 17 intelligence, which is, 1 lower than the maximum human intelligence, so, arguably, Werner Heisenberg, Enrico Fermi level of intelligence, right under Einstein. Arguably, we can argue about who's more intelligent, but let's say the next tier of the great physicists of the 20th century, that level of intelligence, they have a 1 in 4 chance of not learning a spell. So they have a 75% chance to learn. So 25% to the time they fail. That's crazy. Like, in my mind, that is nuts. That is makes it incredibly likely that you will waste your spell. So I may not get this spell, which would really suck. But let the chips fall where they may, right? So no time like the present. Let's try. Oh, yes, we got it. Okay, good, because that would have been a very, very bad start to this playthrough if I had not been able to learn that spell. All right, so we've got that. We can actually, for future reference, right now I've got a blindness and a sleep spell, so I can use those for now, but I will be putting that armor spell in my rotation very shortly. But I think that's all we need to do in here, so let's go do that errand for Firebead. Because when you're a low-level character, when you're just starting out, low-level character, first-level character in a tutorial, what do? You do errands for people. You do stupid, petty little errands for experience and small amounts of gold. Hey, look, it's the Chanters. Shall water the earth. You guys got to work on your harmonies. They're not. It's not really. Yeah, no, it's not. Do your old material again. This new stuff sucks. Anyway, that's the Chanters, who are basically a Greek chorus for the beginning of the game. If you listen to their dialogue, it's sort of prophetic. Well, of course it is. They're literally chanting prophecy. Where's Tethtril, though? He's somewhere around here.
Greetings,
there he is.
young one.
Oh, Tethtril, you old fellow. Firebead has sent you to me, hasn't he? Very well, return this scroll to him. But then you must hurry and speak with Gorion. He is waiting for you on the steps of the Central Library. I assure you, child, it is a matter of utmost urgency. Thank you, Tethtril. Boy, actually, you're pretty spry for an old guy. And I am pretty spry for a young gnome. Alright, well, identify, scroll in hand. Let us proceed. Alright, Firebead. Scroll recovered. Ah, I'm glad to see that age has not hardened your heart towards an old man such as myself. I'll take all of your identify scrolls. I have a great use for those types of scrolls. Yeah, so do I. Identifying things. Here, allow me to cast a little spell on you. It'll protect you from any evil you might meet tonight. So I get a... He also doesn't mention it, but he actually gives me a potion of healing, which is arguably much more useful than a spell that's going to run out. And also, how does he know? What evil am I going to meet tonight? What does he know that I don't know? I mean, he is Gryan's friend, so Gryan has clearly shared something with him that he has not shared with me. Now, I'll tell you who I'm not going to talk to. I'm not going to talk to these fellows, these green-robed tutors, because all they do is spout a whole lot of tutorials. And it's sort of very general tutorial text that I don't need to concern myself with. It doesn't really help me. It doesn't describe how to use the game on the PS4. It's just very general advice. So we're not gonna talk to any of them. But we will talk to Flydia.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. Have you seen my copy of the History of Halruar anywhere? You know how I can't stand the constant shuffling of arthritic feet up in the library, so I thought I'd get a bit of fresh air just east of here. Oh, I hate being so absent-minded. Please, if you do find it, I really do need it back.
Of course, Flydia. Flydia, oh Flydia. I will go look, see where you left it. See these guys? These guys look like they're waiting for the bus. Yes, guardsman. You messing with me? Just knock me over. Where may she have left it? Well, perhaps she left it here in the priest quarters. Possibility. Let's go look.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, goody goody. I've gone and found you first. You're the water grind, no doubt. I am. What can I do for you? Our encounter should be quite simple for you. Plainly put, I've made it my mission to end your life. Success will mean a little respect among my peers. So you see, there's very little you can do except die. And if that's the way you want it, Shank, then so be it. And of course, now you see we enter auto pause, which is how all the combat in this game will go, because it is, after a turn-based game in D&D. Well, sort of pseudo turn-based. It's auto pause with, then you can just turn it on and run it. But we always do that at the beginning of combat to give us time to give our orders and decide what we're going to do. And in this case, what we're going to do is shoot this guy with a crossbow in the gut. Wow. We're whiffing. Alright, maybe we're not just going to do that. That's a little disturbing. I would have expected to knock him out of this situation already, but I'm going to hit him with a blindness spell. Wow. Wow! It's crazy. I cannot believe... that I just got whacked that badly in a tutorial. I have never gotten that whacked that badly in this tutorial before. That's a little scary. And drink my potion. Put some distance between me and him. All right, now shoot at him again. Come on. I cannot believe I am not taking this guy out. I mean, granted, I'm not a warrior, but geez. Holy smoke. I gotta get out of here. That is nuts. I have never been this badly damaged. I gotta run. This is a new one on me. I have never been this bad. I've never failed to kill this guy. Hey, watchers, please do something. There he is. Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm almost dead in the tutorial. Well, that does not bode well. Boyle, you cut yourself above the brow there. What's wrong, child? Something in your eyes tells me something is very wrong indeed. Part of there was a man in there. He smelled like the stables and he tried to kill me. It was horrible. Hurry then, child. Equip yourself at the inn and go join Gorion on the steps of the library. I had a sense something like this might happen. That is crazy. I cannot believe I almost died. Wow. If those guards had not come along, I would be up the creek. What happened here? Huh. Well, I am going to look around here. I don't know if this is his gold or the priest's gold. But it's out on the table, so I'm going to take it. I may not be able to be worth my own in a fight, but damn it, I can thieve. I mean, this is a well, I can't use a warhammer, but I can sell a warhammer, damn it. All right, there we go. We'll just take that warhammer. This is definitely a formative experience for Boyle. I'll tell you. How much cash does that leave me with? 119. I don't know if that's enough to buy a healing, but I'm gonna have to try. Hey, priest.
These walls contain the world's knowledge.
Indeed they do. Candlekeep contains the world's knowledge. Not your temple, because your temple just has like one wall and it contains nothing. But never mind. We won't deal with that right now. I was wondering if you had what you had to offer at this temple of wisdom, like perhaps healing, because I need it. Cure light wounds for 50. Okay, we'll take it. Good Lord, that is. I mean, Boyle's got to be terrified at this point. I mean, in a way, I guess that's more realistic, because I will tell you, usually, not even when I'm always playing fighters, but usually you wipe the floor with that guy in no time at all. But not this time. Shank was a danger to me. But we still have not found Flydia's book, so let us look for it.
What do you need?
Here we go. Flydia left one of her books in here again. It's in the hay beside the cow. If you could run it over to and then come back, I've got some plans for you. I hope they don't involve attacking me, Dreppen. There's the history of Hal Rua. Alright, let's run that back to Flydia while we can still draw breath. Oh, Flydia.
Hello there.
My book! Oh, you remind me of Gorion when you grin like that. Raising you has been hard on him, I know, but he says it's a toil of love, a toil of destiny, even. You must be a very special child indeed to draw such praise from a man of his silent nature. Here, take this little gem of mine. Maybe Winthrop can give you a little something for it.
One can hope. So I got myself a lynx-eyed gem, which is good. But I think we'll go back to Dreppen, see what he has for me to do, and see what other cash we can collect from the other denizens of Candlekeep. Dreppen, what was it you wanted me to do again? Nice day, ain't it? Too bad Nessa here ain't enjoying it, though, her being sick and all. I need you to get one of them potions of antidote off Hull. He stayed up drinking last night and got hauled out of bed to man the gates early this morning. So I bet he's got a few of them lying around somewheres. Now this is one of... This man wants me to get a potion of antidote from a guard and give it to this cow. A potion of antidote is not a trivial item. especially for a first-level character. It's the equivalent of Ogma, huh? You sure? Because it kind of looks like a Christian cross. It's not a trivial item. It's in if you use the sort of, you know, rule of thumb where like one gold piece is the equivalent to $20. It's about I guess that makes it about 2,000. I think it is. It would be about 2,000 gold or $2,000 if it was dollars. That's quite an item to give to a cow. So I don't know if we'll be. I think we might forget to turn over that potion of antidote once we get a hold of it. But hey, look, it's Jondalar.
Hey,
Hey there, Boyle. I see you up early today. Well, your father Gorian's asked me a strange favor. Simi wants you to learn some fighting and asked me to be the teacher. So I hope you brought your staff with you. And, okay, little tutorial nonsense. I forgot that Jondalar also spouts some tutorial dialogue, but so be it. Let's take him up on his little offer here. And, oh, look, see, there's the surprise. The surprise is that Eric also attacks you from behind. I don't know where. Eric must be a master of stealth. He just appeared out of nowhere. But so be it. There we go. Now I'm hitting things. Wow, you're quite the fighter. I think Jondalar was right when he said you didn't need any practice. Well, you didn't see me a half an hour ago with Shank. I believe you. I need the practice. You should go talk to the gate warden if you want some more experience fighting with a group of people. I don't think so. Well, all right, fine. Thanks, fellas. Thanks for you restored my confidence slightly, I suppose. Hey, Revor.
By Moradin's hammer!
I thought I asked you to clean the rats out of this building yesterday already. Hop to it, get in there.
Fine, you grumpy-ass dwarf. I'm sure Jondalar... Jondalar? Eric? Now you saw them go in the door. I saw them go in the door. But there's nothing in here except hostile rats. And two cats who are not bothering with the rats. You make of that what you will. I think there's magic afoot. All right. Get that guy. Come on, get him. Get him. There we go. See, now I'm hitting things. Crazy. I cannot believe I missed Shank that many times. That was a hairy combat. All right. Get him. Come on, cat. Help me out a little bit. See, that's how you can tell they're werecats, because they're just... Well, actually, wait a minute. Regular cats would do that, too. Anything in here worthwhile? No. How about over here? Oh, a silver ring. Someone must have dropped it it must have come off their finger in the barrel when they were reaching for something. Well, lost forever, as far as they're concerned. Hey, Jondalar, is that you? Cat says nothing. Again, totally standard for a cat, so. Ah, yes, kill them like the rats that they are. A glorious battle unlike any this world has ever seen. Here's 5 gold pieces. Don't spend it all in one place. The game complains, but I think 5 gold pieces is perfectly reasonable for killing 5 rats. It's essentially $100 for killing rats. I'm fine with that. Now where's... Oh, here he is. Here's Hull. Hull, of course, the fellow who Dreppen sent us to, who's then going to send us somewhere else. I woke up late this morning. I left my sword in the barracks before going on duty. If you want to get it for me, it's in the chest at the foot of my bed, on the right side of the barracks. You want quick now, before the gate warden catches me without it. You also find the I think Druppa needs one for old Nessa. All right, Hall. Very well.
Our rules are very strict.
I didn't break any rules. You can't prove anything. Oh, that's not what this is about. Well, here's the gate warden. Soon be gone, will ye? Aye, Gorion asked me to teach you a bit about the finer arts of mass combat before you leave. Can I pique your interest with it, Boyle? No, because I don't want to do another tutorial. Gorion's in a hurry, gate warden. I'm afraid I can't spare the time. Sorry. Are you sure, little one? It would be best you took the time to learn it now rather than curse your ignorance later. Gorion himself asked me to do this deed, and I'll not offer it to ye twice. Whatever little knowledge I have, I'm sure it will be sufficient, thank you. Besides, Gorion will protect me should we encounter any trouble. Aye, you be you've always been then. Worse than trying to talk sense to Elrond himself. Now there be duties that need attending to, and I'll not suffer a brat like ye any longer. Fine. I don't think the gate warden and I like each other very much. And that particular tutorial is a complete waste of time. Okay, if you've never done the game before, then it is not a waste of time. But it offers you no experience. It offers you no gold. It's just whatever. Here, however, is the bunkhouse. The bunkhouse is, of course, where people go to lay down bunks who cannot afford the accommodations at the Candlekeep Inn. And then they leave little donations, presumably here in this box, to help keep up the bunkhouse. And then sometimes, because it's unlocked, the donations get taken. Oh yeah, I should go see. I should go in and see who. I mean, what if it was a nice visitor, kind of down their luck, so they're staying in the bunkhouse and they just want to give what money they can. I should see if there is a nice person there. If they're cool, I'll just return the money. Let's see what's going on.
I have a blade with your name on it.
Well, that's a funny way to begin a conversation. Hey there, you're Grion's little whelp, aren't you? Yeah, you match the description. You don't look so dangerous to me. That I am. Do I know you? No, I don't believe you do. I'll not be here long, so it won't matter. You'll not be here long either, so it matters even less. Just thought I'd have a look at you. Pretty face, but I don't see what all the fuss is about. No matter. I'll deliver your skull and I'm set for life. Well, first of all, thank you for telling me I have a pretty face. Second, let's see if I do any better filling your gut full of crossbow bolts than I did with Shank. Oh yes, immediately, improvement. Come on, buddy. More damage than that. Come on. Give me a hit, man. Come on. Oh my god, Boyle, you're killing me. Oh my god, I'm going to die again. Whoa, this is... I feel something's wrong with my character here. I don't remember being this easy to hit with characters with 18 decks in previous playthroughs, so I'm getting the hell out of here. I am going to go for the... Where is the nearest guard I can find? Over this way, I think. Holy smoke. Oh, no guards. I cannot believe that I have to run my ass off away from these tutorial dudes. This is crazy. Did I somehow accidentally check the wrong difficulty? This is crazy. I'm running for my life here. Help! Guards! So Boyle is just absolutely running for his, as fast as his little legs can carry him, away from this dude. I don't even dare stop to cast a spell, because spell casting is going to take too long, and I'm already down in hit points. Ah, good. Watcher, attack Carbos, please. Don't get in my way, though. I'm running. Oh my god. This is crazy. Help! This is the weirdest tutorial intro. Oh, got him! I got him. At least I killed him this time. Wow. Wow. I have to go get a healing again. Well, I guess I don't, because I don't think there's anybody left to kill me or try and kill me. This is weird, though. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to really quickly check. I'm going to check the gameplay. I'm going to check the difficulty. Difficulty is core rules. Okay, so... Wow. So, that is weird. Now let's check the character. Make sure that nothing odd is going on here. Dexterity is 18. Armor class is 6. What the frick is going on? Two encounters and I have been damaged worse than I've ever seen. And I cannot seem to hit. It's really weird. Alright, well, I guess it's just luck of the draw. Just bad luck. Huh. Alright, well, I've survived it. I have survived it. Oh, look, it's the wishing barrel. I like to call it the wishing barrel. I believe that my headcanon is that people put coins in it. And then the wishes don't come true. Someone collects the coins, though.
On your mind?
I heard shouting, Boyle. Are you alright? It's better that you don't ask questions, Karen. You've instructed me and inspired me throughout my childhood. And your heart would break to see what just happened. Oh, hello! It's a visitor. A cat. Visitor to the stream. Not exactly helpful, but a visitor nonetheless. Oh, child, you are too young for the life that is being thrust upon you. You must be fully equipped for your journey. If you are, I pray you run now to Goran on the library steps, for he is anxious to depart. Well, I will, but I need to go get that potion and Hull's longsword. And while we're at it, we might as well talk to Fuller. Hey, Fuller, how are you? Are you going to try to kill me?
I should have joined the army.
Yeah, you probably should have. What a mead-filled night. That Hull is just too much. Poor sap had to go man the gate this morning, too. I don't know how he does it. Well, he does it by yawning through his whole shift. That's how he does it. Well, what can I do for you anyways? I was just wondering if you had any errands I could run. Errands? Yeah, actually. I need a quarrel of crossbow bolts. If you could get some off of Winthrop at the end, I'll reimburse you. Oh, very well. There'll be a few coins in it for you, too, so you can stop giving me that look. Hello, friend. Do you mind? I'm streaming. Hey, what? No! Full-on attacking my microphone. Oh, that'll be a highlight for the highlight one for the highlight reel. I believe we actually have crossbow bolts we can give Fuller, so let's do that now. Here you are, you little money grubber. Put a few gold pieces in your purse. Alright, so I've lost some bolts. Luckily I lost the small stack of bolts, not the big stack. Important note, it'll always take the first stack of ammunition it comes across in your inventory, which is always the one you have equipped. So, don't equip the important one, like the big one. Alright, so that's that. don't think there's anything else I need from... Oh, actually, I should sell the items that I've gathered. Oh wait, no. First, I will give Hull, back and forth. First, I will give Hull his longsword, and then I'm gonna go pay another trip to Winthrop. Got your sword, Hull. Thanks, kiddo. Grant didn't bring you up half bad, did he? You're lucky to have grown up here in Candlekeep, to be honest. Sometimes I think that the world outside these gates has gone mad. What with all this fighting over the Iron Shortage and all. And Baldur's Gate will be a war before the season's out. Mark my words. Anyway, I'm on duty. Here's 20 gold pieces for saving my skin from the chief. Well, thanks, Hull. That's also fairly unusual. Hull usually is not that nice to me. But I believe that has something to do with my 16 charisma. Maybe that's the trade-off. My 16 charisma has resulted in me almost dying everywhere. Alright, now let's go in here and sell Winthrop some more stuff. As good to see you again as any other I could have laid eyes on. Make yourself comfortable as you will. If you wish for anything, don't just ask. Don't ask. Let's see what we can sell to him now. So we have a dagger, which we're not going to use, and another dagger, which we're not going to use. And oh, this Warhammer. Just so you know, Winthrop, if one of the priests comes by and says that they lost a Warhammer from their quarters and they need a new one, don't sell them this one. Just no reason, just don't. Linkside gem. Mere 7 gold pieces I get for that. Silver ring. And another dagger. Which leaves me with 140 gold, which is, again, not bad. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that 140 gold. I'm going to buy healing. Not a healing spell, because I should be healed, I believe, before I leave this place. But I'm definitely buying a healing potion. Because I had to use one just to survive Shank over here, who we've left out on the Candlekeep grounds, I might add. Alright, what can we get at this Temple of Wisdom? Well, perhaps we can get some goods. Yes, 1 potion of healing, that's all I can buy. That's all I can afford. But that's what it's going to have to be. That is what it's going to have to be. I need some kind of healing. If something like that happens again out in the real world, I am up the creek. So I think that's all there is to it. That's all we can do. Boyle is ready to go out into the world. So there's nothing else now but to go find Gorion on the library steps.
Hey, it's me, Imoen.
Oh, after talking to Imwen, of course.
I'm surprised that stuffy old Gorion let you away from your studies and chores. That old fiddle-faddle. I snuck off too. Old Puffguts Winthrop was looking for me, but I've got all day to do his chores. Do you have time for a story today? No, I can tell you don't. What have you been up to?
I'm sorry, child, but not to tell anyone what I'm doing. I must go. You shouldn't tell about either. Winthrop will want the beds turned down when you're done in the stables.
If you say so. You sure picked up a lot from old Gorion. He never tells it straight neither. Good luck on your trip. I mean, good luck with whatever you're doing.
Sounds like you've been nosing around where you shouldn't have. Stay out of my business, if you please.
Well, that was certainly rude, you rumduke. Fine, I'll stay here and mind my own beeswax. You better get going. You don't want to keep Mr. G waiting.
So that's Imoen. Nosy little scamp and childhood friend. And here is Gorion, my foster father, sage, and wizard.
Oh, my child, I am glad I have found you.
This is very unnerving. I know, but you must trust me. It is very important that you pack your possessions so that we may leave Candlekeep immediately. Hurry, for there is no time to tarry. The keep is well protected, but not invulnerable. I'm ready to go now. Oh, guess we're going.
Listen carefully. If we ever become separated, it is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them. Let's hurry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. I will explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait, there is something wrong. We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
What ambush? Oh, that ambush.
You're perceptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, old man.
Get out of here!
I got tagged again. Damn right I'm running. After the experience that Boyle's had, he's gonna run his ass off. Come on, Dad, get him. Killed a couple ogres there, that's for sure. Bam! Fireball. Take out 2 more. Not good, Dad. That's taking down your defenses. Dad?
Dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
And there we go. Our foster father Gorion is dead, killed by a mysterious assailant in his band of high-powered scoundrels. And we are alone, presumably spending the night somewhere in the woods. A cold night hidden in a tree, perhaps. And we can't go home because Candlekeep will not allow you in except under the strictest circumstances. Once you're out, you're out. So we'll put in a brief break here and pick this up on the other side of it. This, of course, is Old Tom Gin, and this is my new playthrough of Baldur's Gate, the Enhanced Edition. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a minute.
Hey, it's me, Imoen.
Of course, here we are the next day, having watched our foster father Gorion die only the night before, and who should walk up to us as we wake up and walk out onto the road but Imoen? And she says, "Sorry I followed you, but I never get out of Candlekeep, and those monks are such a bore. I never get any decent coin in their pockets, neither. I saw Gorion, and I am so sorry. I kind of figured something bad might happen to you out here." "How could you have known? Gorion did not even tell me." I accidentally read a letter on his desk the other day. I can't remember exactly what it said, but he might still have it on his body. Anyway, I'm not going to let you wander around in here all alone. Never let a friend down, no sir. Stick with you until you say otherwise, I will. Well, I'm tempted to say otherwise immediately, but if recent experience has taught me anything, it's that I need protection. I need the numbers. So let's take a look at old Imoen, shall we? Like me, she is a thief. Unlike me, she is not a spellcaster, at least not in this game. Human, not very strong. Also someone who is very dexterous, as dexterous as Boyle is, and so basically someone we keep on distance at all times. Decent constitution, pretty damn smart, not terribly wise, and even more charismatic than Boyle is. So, or no, actually, I think they're equally charismatic. But she also doesn't have really great thief skills, but no first level thief ever has great thief skills. It's just kind of part of the game. You just, when you're first level thief, you kind of suck at everything. But you know, she's got a bow. She's got decent dex adjustment for that bow, so we will make use of her bow skills. What she doesn't do is she doesn't usually equip the things that she comes with to start with, which I always found a little bit odd. I think I will actually be taking this one off her hands just because she moves a little bit faster than I do, and I really need to be able, if what happened to me before in Candlekeep happens to me again, I need help. I'm going to need some help here. So we are going to... I, by the way, have this compulsive need to explore maps. Always have, especially in this game. Need to clear out the maps. I'm not going to go back to Candlekeep because there's no point. There's nothing there. Can't get in. But, I mean, there's a lot of things there, but I can't get in at this juncture of the game. But I do want to clear out the general area here and see, well, A, see if there are any critters that need attacking. Hostile critters. And B, see if there are any people who need to be talked to. And I guarantee you there will be both. And sometimes they're big stone signs. West to Candlekeep. Well, not for me. Not unless I have a 10,000 gold piece book. Well, look at this poor fellow. Chase!
Don't touch me. I might catch something.
Hello. Well, I was about to tell you not to come any closer, but that never seems to work, does it? Well, regardless, I should remain true to the genre. Don't come any closer or I'll jump! Yeah, you heard me, and I'll do it too. So, don't come any closer. Again. Then don't try to stop me.
Oh no. May all the gods do not do such a thing. There's so much to live for.
You're right, of course. What a fool I was to think this would solve anything. It didn't solve anything the last time I stood here and was stopped. Nor the time before that. I should really develop a better method for dealing with adversity. It's such a long walk as well. Perhaps if I had Mumsy construct a cliff closer to town. Oh well, thanks for your concern. Ta.
Now, I don't know who Chase is. I don't know if we ever run into Chase or learn who his Mumsy was, but I would really like to know. I've never found out. I would really like to know how Mumsy exactly constructs cliffs anywhere. Either through financial or magical means. Constructing a cliff is a non-trivial task. My headcanon is that Mumsy runs a very large and profitable amusement park somewhere between now and here in I don't see any. Whoa! Don't want to tangle with a black bear, I'll tell you that much. Ah, but here it is. Now we have come upon the area where my dear foster father Gorion met his end, and here it is. Here is his body. So presumably Boyle says a few words of goodbye to Gorion, and then loots the area. Because this is a survival situation at this point. What do we have here? And of course at this point we take absolutely everything we can get our hands on, because we need it all. We need it all to survive. And so take not only from him, but from the other nearby fallen foes. That's something that this edition of the game does that previous ones did not. It actually just kind of has like a sort of general zone that you can pull from. It's like a radius of looting, if you will. But all that is well and good. But of course, what we really need here is this Grind's Scroll, which Imwin, as we know, has already referred to. So let's take a look at Gorion Scroll and see what it says. My friend Gorion, please forgive the abruptness with which I now write, but time is short and there is much to be done. What we have long feared may soon come to pass, though not in the manner foretold, and certainly not in the proper time frame. As we both know, forecasting these events has proved increasingly difficult, leaving little option other than a leap of faith. We have done what we can for those in thy care, but the time nears when we must step back and let matters take what course they will. We have perhaps been a touch too sheltering to this point. Despite my desire to remain neutral in this matter, I could not in good conscience let events proceed without some measure of warning. The other side will move very soon, and I urge thee to leave Candlekeep this very night if possible. The darkness may seem equally threatening, but a moving target is much harder to hit, regardless of how sparse the cover. A fighting chance is all that can be asked for at this point. Should anything go awry, do not hesitate to seek aid from travelers along the way. I do not need to remind thee that this is a dangerous land, even without our current concerns, and a party is stronger than an individual in all respects. Should additional assistance be required, I understand that Jaheira and Khalid are currently at the Friendly Arm Inn. They know little of what is past, but they are ever thy friends, and will no doubt help thee however they can. Luck be with us all. I'm getting too old for this. E. And of course, anyone who knows anything about the Forgotten Realms knows exactly who E is. And if you don't, well, you'll find out soon enough. So there's that. And I think what I need to do at this point, before I go anywhere else or do anything else, is A, swap out a spell, because blindness is all well and good, but I need armor. Desperately need armor. And then we need to rest. Now, of course, there's a possibility I may get ambushed right now, which would suck. But it's the risk you run when you rest in the wilderness. And look at that. Did get ambushed. We did get ambushed. So what are we going to do? Well, Boyle is going to shoot, and Imwin's going to shoot. Oh my god. What is going on? This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Oh, he's dead. Okay, good. Wow, I am so glad I got that. Oh boy. Now, do I take that potion, or do I risk not taking the potion and rest again? Well, I got to take the potion anyway, because resting out here will only give me 1 hit point. So, down a potion I go. Sure, I'm glad I got it. This is weird, man. Something is going on here. This is very, very odd. Let's try resting one more time.
Yes.
Okay. So onward and upward. Oh, and before I go anywhere else, actually, before I go on and upward, let's cast that damn armor spell. Okay, so we are now armored up. Unfortunately, Imwin does not come with much in the way of actual arrows. She comes with 40, which is not great, because we blow through arrows like crazy in this game.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. Colsaid. It is Colsaid the Hermit. Well, A busy day for me today indeed. Strange noises throughout the night, and now a plethora of people strolling about the wood. You do look a touch more hospitable than the last two I met, though. Well met, stranger. I am Colsid. You saw two people in the wood? I was told to meet some friends at the Friendly Arm Inn. Perhaps they and the ones you met are one and the same. I doubt these are the ones you seek. They don't seem the friendly type, and they are far afield of the inn. If you wish to meet them, I left them not a moment ago just up the road. You'll have to pass them anyway if you wish to go to the Friendly Arm. There's a crossroads to the east, and the inn is north of that. Thanks for your time. I shall be on the way. Fare thee well, as they say. He just vanished. Maybe Colsid is not what he appears to be. I guess we'll never know. So who are these individuals just up the road? Why, they're right there. It's Czar and Montaron. Hello there, friends.
Montaron, you are so aggravating. 'Tis disturbing to my demeanor.
A child wandering in the wilderness. Surely you must be none too bright to be traveling these roads. And you look a bit scuffed, too. A fine pair of troubles all your own. Indeed. I can offer you as a token of goodwill. I'll be grateful for any assistance. Nothing to fear from these simple potions. And I'll not even hold you in debt, though your conscience knows otherwise. Just like all good people. And by the way, me changing Czar's voice so radically there is not just my choice. That is the voice actor's choice, and I'm just emulating it. You'll notice as he talks, he doesn't talk the same way, usually in any two conversations. Perhaps as payment you would go with us to Nashkel. It is a troubled area, and we need to investigate some disturbing rumors surrounding the local mines. Some acquaintances are very concerned about the iron shortage. Specifically, where to lay blame in the matter. You would be useful, though I'll not hold you to it. We're to meet the mayor of the town, a mayor named Baron Gaskill, I believe. Your conscience be your guide. I would join with you, but I must meet someone first. Perhaps you would go with me. We've precious little time, but it's best to travel accompanied. Aye, we'll go with you. You owe us for our time, though. And so now we have added Czar and Montaron to our party. And as you might expect, Czar and Montaron are evil. Montaron is, as you can see, a halfling fighter thief. Also another guy, not really, I mean, he's strong, but he's not strong enough to really make a difference in second edition. Pardon me, and fairly dexterous. Doesn't have much of a charisma. His dialogue bears that out. And he's got a short sword. He doesn't have much else. At least he's neutral evil, though. Czar is chaotic evil, a chaotic evil human necromancer, and is just nutty as a March hare, and quite intelligent. Although, again, in second edition terms, he finds it relatively hard, even with that intelligence, to learn spells. Good dexterity gives him a little bit of a bonus on AC, but his problem is that he doesn't have an armor spell. He doesn't have any, and he's a necromancer, so he has. Necromancers in second edition especially have like one of the poorest spell selections you can get. I will take their potion of healing, though. I'll tell you that much, because this has been a rough go of it for me. And as you can see, all he's really got is a couple of scrolls and a dagger. Oh, so one of the other things that gets Czar in trouble is the fact that he starts off with a dagger. He has no armor, and he doesn't have that many hit. He's got enough hit points that a critical hit from a house cat could kill him. So he's not. His best spell is this one, which he has on scroll and memorized, which is Larlock's Minor Drain. Which is actually, honestly, as I know I just said that Necromancy doesn't have a lot of spells, but as those spells go, this is a pretty good one. It basically takes hit points away from your enemy and gives it to you. As I found out recently, it it doesn't stack per se, so you can only really use it once in terms of getting hit points, and then you gotta wait until the spell duration ends and then to cast it again. But then he's got chill touch, so not a lot to work with. But you know what? I have got the yes, I have beaten Baldur's Gate before numerous times, actually. I'm doing this playthrough as it's sort of in honor of the 21st anniversary of the first release of the game, and also because they had the new Baldur's Gate coming out, and they had the announcement and the gameplay not too long ago, and I thought this would be a good time to revisit the original game. So, yes, they do, and that this is in fact where I got it from. I purchased this for the PS4. This is the port by Beamdog, which is turning out to be pretty damn cool. So, just gonna do a quick save here. All right, so we've got our crew, our fairly motley crew, I must add. And there we have a Gibberling, a diseased Gibberling. Or is it Gibberling? I can never tell. Let's see if we can deal with this guy. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit. Safety in numbers. Safety in numbers definitely applies in this particular case. And so now I'm just basically going on my mission, which is to compulsively clear the map.
Never liked the sun.
Is it harder than Pills of Eternity? Depends on your playstyle. I think that part of it is just that it has a lot of assumptions around sort of the old school D&D rules, which, as I've mentioned to folks before, can be pretty darn brutal. Certainly there aren't the kind of... The areas are somewhat leveled, but there are still plenty of enemies that can kill you. For instance, this particular character, who I just started playing, almost died in the tutorial. So, which is that's a little odd. That has never happened to me before. I've never actually been even threatened, particularly in the tutorial, but mathematically it's possible, for sure. And if you watch here, you'll see, depending on what I run into, you can definitely run into some enemies here that will ruin your day. But it's got... yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on the kind of character you're playing. I mean, 2nd edition D&D, I will definitely say, in terms of survivability, it definitely favors fighters at low levels. It's good to be a fighter or a barbarian. But if you obviously want more sort of rewarding gameplay at higher levels, and more versatility, then you might want to play, a rogue or a wizard or a cleric. But it's a trade-off. But oh, looky here! There's something glinting and gleaming in that particular tree. It's a diamond. It's a diamond, and of course I know where all these things are because I've played the game many times before. But I actually have some headcanon as to why these things exist. Oh, look, I think that guy's being threatened by a... Binkos! Binkos is being threatened by a deadly wolf, so let's deal with him right now. I hope that doesn't hurt Binkos. So they're going to do that. Larlock's Minor Drain. Montron's going to attack, and Imwin's going to shoot it. And away we go. Come on, fellas. Alright, so right away, Montron got tagged. And you see, that's a wolf. That's one wolf. And if I'm not careful, Montron will go down because of this one wolf. So I have to be... Come on, guys. Boyle, do something. Alright. And it's only a matter of time because Czar has absolutely no decent hit points. It's only a matter of time before he gets tagged, so I'm going to have him run 2. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. Draw him off until we could get somebody to tag him. Yeah, no, this is really one of the, and if you haven't played it just for, I mean, if you're a gamer, from a historical standpoint, this is one of the classic RPGs. This is not permadeath, no. And as I was mentioning at the beginning of this playthrough, I am not playing this on any kind of voluntary permadeath, and I would not really recommend playing this game on permadeath because there are random encounters that you get between zones on the map. And again, this is sort of a feature of old school D&D that there's just a percentage that sometimes you get just a really lethal encounter. Like, most of them are appropriate to your level for that area, but sometimes you get something really crazy hard, and it can be a complete party wipe. So I have seen, leaving this initial area, I've gotten tagged by a sort of legendary encounter in this game, which is the... Pardon me, let me save real quick. As I was saying, I've gotten tagged by what is the legendary 10 bandit raid, which is basically 10. You in the middle of the ambush, you get surrounded by 10 bandits just all around you, and they're all usually I think at least third level bandits, and they have bows and decent armor and decent weapons. And it just, if you encounter that at first level, I don't care how clever you are at your tactics, you're just dead. You're just dead because they can effectively one-shot you, and they just pelt you with arrows. So permadeath, not recommended unless you want to be very frustrated, because there's no strategy to getting around that. You just die. You just die. It's just the luck of the draw. So what I have been saying is that I'm not going to play permadeath per se. I'm going to let things fall where they may. So if there is resurrection from priests in temples in the game, so if someone falls, you can potentially resurrect them. You can farm enemies to some extent, but they don't regenerate, respawn at the kind of rates that you would see in something like a Dragon Age game or something like that. So, if you just hang out in one area, you're gonna be waiting a very long time before the enemies respawn. Not in every area, though. That's not exactly universal. In some areas, some of the dungeons, they will respawn very quickly. You could conceivably farm some of the dungeons for XP if you wanted to. But it's kind of hard to do that, and kind of you really have to work hard to over-level the game, which is, of course, what you do. It's not you kill them, they're gone. They do respawn, but it's a long interval before they respawn. And I believe you have to leave the area and come back at least. So, yeah, I mean, again, if you're a fan of any kind of RPG, sort of classic computer-based RPG, this is really one of the granddaddies of them all. This was a very influential game. It was originally created by folks at BioWare a long, long, long time ago. And of course, they went on to make Neverwinter Nights and Mass Effect, and and Knights of the Old Republic, and so many other games. And this version was ported to the PS4 by the folks at Beamdog, and then Larian Studios is making the new game, Baldur's Gate 3, which is hopefully will be coming out next year. So that's the idea. I'm just going through this, just having fun playing this old game, revisiting it with a slightly different sort of character, and hopefully maybe we'll get through this. We'll not only get through this whole game, maybe we'll go and do the sequels as well. We'll see. So I'm going to do a quick rest here because poor Montaron has been wounded and I need my spell back, and hopefully we won't get ambushed.